What is going on, everybody? Chris Albert here, and with the Warrior Soul podcast, and I'm continuing my series on life with ulcerative colitis. What I want to talk to you guys about today is how flare-ups come up, right? And how my flare-up came up this time around. And here's the thing I want you all to understand. Nobody knows exactly where ulcerative colitis comes from, right? They think it has something to do with genetics. I am genetically an Ashkenazi Jew, which Jews are prone to ulcerative colitis, colon cancer, and a whole host of other things, right? But even that is a little bit iffy, right? They know that it's associated with inflammation, but there's a lot of question as to what gives rise to inflammation. Now, with that, I want to tell you guys a few things. If you haven't followed this channel, over the years, I've talked quite a bit about nutrition. I've done a plant-based diet. I've done a carnivore diet. I've done ketosis. I've done cyclic ketosis. I've done the Mediterranean diet. I have taken a lot of different practices with me over the years, invested a lot in my education. I do things like drinking bone broth, including fermented foods in my diet. I include a lot of prebiotic foods in my diet. What am I getting at here? Well, one of the things that tends to happen, and one of the reasons why people with this disease don't like to put a lot of stuff out there, is because inevitably what happens is everybody thinks they have an answer to your situation, an answer to your troubles. And the way a lot of people approach me is you've got to be doing something wrong. You've got to be doing something with your nutrition or your training, right? I get people all the time telling me to stop lifting weights, to start doing yoga, to do this, to do that. And what I want to tell you guys is this: stop, because what you're essentially doing is you're basically what I like to call a self-help vampire. You're not really caring about the situation. What you're doing instead is trying to impose your preferred view of the world on me and others like me. And one of the things you'll learn about me if you follow the Warrior Soul podcast, if you check out some of the other content I create, I'm somebody who is a big believer in individual liberty. Right? I'm a big believer in the idea that we all need to follow our own path. We need to be informed, which I've spent a great amount of my time doing, but we need to be free as well. And what I can't stand is when somebody comes to me and they say, oh, this is the answer. It's not. This is a very complex disease. I have tried everything. Now, how did this come about? If I was looking after my own nutrition, if I was taking in an anti-inflammatory diet, how did my flare come about? And what you need to understand is that over the summer, I lost a friend. Now, a couple of years ago, I lost another friend and lost him to a very tragic situation. And over the summer, I traveled back to Connecticut for a memorial service. And the reason why they were putting on this memorial service was to raise money for my friend's children. And another really good friend of mine was organizing that memorial, right, to raise money for these kids. And so I traveled home, spent some time there, got to see this guy, and this guy had struggled in the past with so many things, and he looked great, all right? He was doing well. He put all this work into creating this memorial for my friend, and there was a lot of sadness there, a lot of stress there. And then I came home, and 2 weeks later, my other really good friend, Patrick Juni Gutierrez, he died tragically. And so during that time, dealing with grief, I was also dealing with some business issues at the time, having problems. There's a lot of stress in my life, right? And I do a lot to manage stress. I meditate, I journal, I get exercise in every day to try to manage stress. But there's periods of time when things happen in life where you can't control them. right? And this was a situation that really, really hit me hard. And it was after that situation that I started getting the flare, and my body started going a little bit haywire on me. And as I tried to remedy the situation, of course, I went back to a lot of the diet techniques, the tricks that I've spoken about over the years. But still, the situation didn't come under control, right? And that's not like a little nice little neat story that everybody wants to hear about. Oh, there's a cure, you try this, you try fasting, you try hyperbaric chambers, you try all this, and it's supposed to go away, right? And people don't want to hear that. What they want to hear is that, hey, there's a cure here, there's something that can help you, and it's something I believe in. I carry it with me like it's my identity, and you need to accept it, because that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to impose my view on you. And it's just annoying, guys. It's annoying. The reason why I'm doing this series isn't to try and say that there's any one answer. It's to let people out there who are suffering with this know that they're not alone, right? It's to let people out there who are suffering with this know that they're not alone. And we live in a world with a lot of information, too much information, I think. And getting a million people, and I know that you guys want to help, but you're carrying very low emotional intelligence with it, because what you're basically inferring is that me and other people with this disease are doing something wrong, that somehow we're making a mistake and we're being punished for it. And that's garbage, because unless you have this disease, you don't know what it's like. You don't know the feeling of being willing to do anything, trying a million different things to try to overcome it, and still having the situation continue. And if you're currently suffering from this, my advice to you is this. Number one, don't give up, right? Number two, you got to try different things, right? You got to try different things. You got to be open-minded, but understand that there's not a cure, because if you understand that, you're not setting yourself up for the immense disappointment that happens when you go for another flare. Understand that there's certain things that might work for a while and then might stop working. Understand that the biggest thing that's going to kill you is stress, right? Your emotional stability or instability is what's really going to mess with you. So what you need to do is you need to take care of your mind, right? I definitely recommend meditation. I definitely recommend stress management. I definitely recommend trying to get some exercise in every day. But don't listen to anybody who's telling you that you're doing something wrong, because nobody knows what the right answer is, right? Nobody knows what the right answer is. And, those of us who are dealing with it, we've got to stick together. We got to be strong for each other, and we got to keep living. Sorry for the rant, guys. I don't like doing rants, but sometimes things need to be said. So with that, thank you guys so much for listening. I'll continue this series, and I hope you're all doing well.